Queens everywhere! Hello, Drag Race fans. Season 11, episode 12. We're almost done with this season, and we're going to give you some of the real tea coming up. We're going to discuss that crazy lip sync. What did you guys think? Tell us and stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I like this song. It sounds like a summer jam.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on the hills.
Yeah. I make sure your face and you turn around and
Hi.
Jayla.
Yeah.
Ollie.
All glamorous.
Hi guys, I am your host 123 Jackie B. I'm wearing my sassy hat.
Sassy hat day.
It's Sassy Hat Day. With me as always, Mark J Freeman.
Mark J Freeman in the house.
Jayla Roxx.
It's me in the back in the building.
And Ollie, you can't see underneath this, but his hair is pink.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
very
that's why he got the
It
pink
looks
hat.
good.
I would like to keep it on, please.
Why? It's not that bad. It's good. It's very.
You can follow him, Ollie Dreamer, if you want to see the pink hair.
Yes.
If you thought this was the Game of Thrones pre-show, we're sorry.
That's-
But we will make it funnier and more amusing than Game of Thrones. I promise that. Shout out to Gretchen Marie from Puerto Rico, who's joining us for the first
From
time in the
Puerto
chat
Rico.
roll. Someone said love from Australia, but I can't see their name.
Oh, it is
Amy
Amy Louise.
Louise.
Yay.
You have to say it in an Australian accent.
I don't want to offend her.
I did get like my baby,
Oh my
Girl,
god.
you
and I
sound like,
put some shrimp on the bobby.
she sounds like Liza
I
Minnelli.
know. Every impersonation I have is like a mix of Joan Rivers and Liza Minnelli. That's it. It's my range. So what did you guys think of the episode? I enjoyed it. I mean, I still wish there was a mini challenge, but okay.
Yeah, I just realized that there was no mini challenge.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was a really great episode. It kind of gives me that what was it? It was the All Stars when they did the one take camera. All Stars
Yeah,
3.
yes.
So I was glad they did that again. And they
Yeah.
had more space. They're like, oh my God, there's more room outside of this runway and these four walls. We get to go out to more four walls. So
It was
cool.
fun. No, I agree. I just thought it was a little bit predictable of who was going to go home because I thought if Vanjie would have won the challenge last week, I thought she would have been more viable to be actually like continue on in the competition. But I just knew going into this, Vanjie was going to go home. But it was still a fun episode. I just was really underwhelmed by some of the runway looks, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
So-
I liked it. I decided, I don't know why I decided to do this because it was actually very, very hard to do. I decided to live tweet while I was watching it the first time.
Okay. Which is really hard to do.
Very
because-
hard to do. I kept having to stop. It took me forever to watch the episode because then I kept having to go back because I was tweeting
Yeah,
and stuff.
Mark
Anyway,
ranting.
Yeah, it was Mark ranting basically. It was late at night, so I'm sure nobody
Yeah,
was awake.
I
But
had to block you. I'm sorry.
I'm dead. And
but it's it was funny. One of the tweets was it just like you got It's funny because I'm torn. Like you, as much as you don't like the drama, then when it's all love, you're just kind of like, oh, it's all just
I
love.
want to feel evil.
Yeah, I know. So it's like you can't win no matter what you get. But it's always nice. It was nice that they all kind of made up and kind of were like, we're sisters. We're going to get through this. We're all going to be friends, blah, blah, blah. So it was nice.
And speaking of that, I can't believe I have to say this again, but you guys, if you don't like a queen, just don't bully them online.
I know.
We say here that you can say to yourself, "This is not my cup of tea," and then move on with your life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but you don't have to let it be known that this is not your cup of tea on somebody else's table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody say love.
Yeah.
Right. Isn't that what we preach? But y'all shady asses.
I know. We're going into Pride season.
I know.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you,
My
Josh.
milkshake brings on the boys. Oh, wrong song. Okay.
On a happy note, I do want to thank you all who have been tweeting at us and commenting. I've
Yes.
gotten so many funny comments about dick soup that
I know.
made my day this season, and I appreciate it. So yes, give us a 5-star review on iTunes and you will get Fan of the Week. Give us a shout out on YouTube and you also may get Fan of the Week.
Yes, and if you read a shady comment, I'm going to show up at your house
With dick soup.
with some dick soup. I'm going to burn it in the bag, ring the doorbell, and run, girl.
I just want to know the recipe, Jackie. The
I
recipe.
know.
It's a secret
Okay.
recipe, you guys.
Okay.
It's a secret recipe, but it does have Tapatio in it.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's good. I like that. It's very
A
good.
little
It's a good
spice.
start. Yeah.
So, the workroom. I do. You know what I do enjoy? I do enjoy going back after knowing like who was in the top and who was in the bottom. Going back to the beginning of the episode and watching it through and seeing how they're framing certain people's stories because they have to do that. So it's like you have the Akira story where she's having trouble, but then she turns it out in the final challenge.
Right.
Or the Brooklyn story, which I didn't understand or agree with, where they were like, okay, you're not putting some stank in it or whatever, and then they all decide at the end that she didn't do a good job? Question mark. I thought she was fine.
Well, I think the word you just used was the point. It was fine. They wanted more than fine.
We can
It was
discuss.
fine. I
Right.
mean, it you skated through.
And well, that's it. And and this is at the point of the competition where unless you're doing a back bend and walking backwards upside down, you're not going to stand out. You know what I mean? So I do think they were the bottom two, in my opinion. I do think they were the bottom two.
We can discuss when we get to
Yeah.
that part, but I as always like enjoy seeing the dancing stuff. It was fun to see. It's always fun to see Todrick in rehearsal and see people in rehearsal and how they react to things.
Sometimes
that?
who said that? No, it's weird because sometimes I feel like when they show the choreography or they do the choreography, they don't actually end up doing the choreography.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What
I
is
agree.
that?
Yeah.
Someone please explain. I'm confused. Why?
Some people wanted to take it out. Like if certain people can't do it at a certain too many people can't do it. Okay, just take it out. Just do something else that's different. You know?
Well, and they did say like they changed Evie's based on her abilities and what she could do and the words in her thing. So I do think it does get tweaked a little bit. Yeah.
I also love that there was a bowl of Tic Tacs in the What's the Tea section because every year I'm like, I want them to bring back the Tic Tacs. And they did, and I was so happy.
Good one. But okay, now somebody in the comments or you guys help me. Do they ever actually post the top 4 or top 5 interviews on the podcast? I listen to the podcast all the time, but I've never seen that one.
I've heard
if
them
you watched it, you
before.
would know.
Yeah,
I would know, and I've never
then
heard
they
it.
probably don't. It's probably just kind of a formality.
Promo.
Yeah.
I have heard them before though,
On
like
the
not
Maybe they
recently.
stopped-
on
maybe they stopped
previous
doing them?
seasons. Yeah, it's maybe recently they stopped doing them. On prior seasons when they used to do the What's the Tea.
It was a real episode.
Yeah.
They might not like what the queens like. They might not even like the podcast, so maybe that's why they stopped. Oh girl, you're boring. Sorry, you know. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why.
Well, Rue did say we don't care about her anyways.
That was hysterical.
I died.
That was hysterical.
Because that's kind of weird because you feel like this is a promotion for What's the Tea, so why are you showing what you're promoting?
Yeah.
But they get that all from like the guest judges, so I guess.
Yeah, the guest judges come and I've seen those, but who knows? Somebody let me know. I'll listen to it.
Oh, I didn't.
Brought to you by Facetune 2.
I just
Right, I'm actually wearing a little Facetune right now.
I just thought it was funny because I get that you have to promote stuff, but I'm like, did Facetune sponsor everything in this episode? Because I felt like they were like mentioning it.
I
more
think
often
so
than
because
normal.
of the other queens like Aja were accused of wearing FaceTime on their Instagram. They said, "Oh, you don't look like that in person." So that was a thing, and like, oh, well, since we're being brought up, why not bring them and sponsor?
Yeah. Just so you know.
It's okay, Mark. So,
Y'all are really shady. What y'all looking about?
no, he's telling me.
She's trolling the comments.
To be honest, he's telling me that he didn't bring a quote of the week. So,
I was trying to be on the down
trying to
low.
be subtle about it and give me kind of.
I was like,
a
oh
producer
shit, because
note.
I didn't rewatch it today because I was at
Jayla
the
just said
thing,
it.
So.
Yeah.
Jayla
so,
just said it. Oh, nobody cared about her.
Yeah,
There you
I was
go.
thinking that's what made me go. I was like, oh, was that going to be? And then I was like, oh.
We'll leave it to the
I'll
chat
tweet
room.
something out later after I
Chat
rewatch
room,
it.
tell us what was your favorite quote of the
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
We'll
Put it
have
on
you do
you.
Mark's
I'll
job.
have you do my job. That's what I'm gonna do next season. You guys can tell me what's about, and then
you
I
don't
just
want
come in and
them
go.
to.
We're gonna go with this one.
Yeah.
No, I won't give up my power.
Well, at least
Forget it.
you're a more competent host than.
Oh my god.
Well, didn't we know that from the beginning?
Yes. So thank you guys for letting us know. How you guys really feel in the comments.
I love every single one.
I love shady
of you.
comments.
Every single one of you. Any more thoughts on the workroom before?
Well, this episode is like your thing because you like the rehearsals, you like the conversations in the workroom and stuff. So this was kind of your thing.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. The only thing that was sad to me was I was watching it. There was no mini challenge. I realized there was no puppet challenge, and I felt
Yeah, you didn't get no puppets at all, girl.
No puppets.
But I was happy to see that we finally got an Akira episode.
yes.
Yeah.
And I have to say that
Oh yeah.
much props to Akira for stepping up to the plate and becoming a father to.
My heart just like was
And
like, oh
I
my
have
god.
to say that, like, in my experience, like coming encounter with queens, the realest men are drag queens.
Mm-hmm.
It takes balls to get up there on the stage and, you know, to slay, and you know what I'm saying. So I
she
give
said.
that to
Yeah.
to all the queens out there.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a real man to go up there, and
Yeah.
you know, because people always kind of base their men off of masculinity and
Right.
what there are to be, you know, what it means to be a man. But what it means to be a man is to step up
Yeah.
and to be a leader. So much props to you, Akira.
It's
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That was I was upset that we didn't get that from Akira earlier, and you just saying that all of that reminded me of like the quote from Rent that Angel says when a man was like discriminating against her, and she said, "Honey, I'm more of a man
you will ever be, yeah.
I'm more of a man than you will ever be, and I'm more of a woman than you will ever get."
Right.
So, it's beautiful, and I just really fell more in love with Akira this episode.
Well, that was one of the things. I'm actually going to go back and look at my tweets because it'll remind me of what I was thinking when I was watching. But one of the things I tweeted was, I almost wish we had this kind of a moment with everybody towards the beginning. I know that would be a very long episode to be able to get to. It was just like, I just felt like there was so much about everybody that you got to see that you didn't see all season, like Akira and Silky and stuff like that. You were just like, oh. Like it just makes, and it does make you think differently of people when you know these things. And that's what's so hard about the show is that we don't know them. I mean, some we do, some we don't. But when you don't know somebody, you're only judging them on what you're seeing on the TV. You know,
But
it's
that's
just not
one
fair.
versus 8 million people.
Right.
You know?
Just because you watch the AfterBuzz TV RuPaul's Drag Race, bitch, don't mean you know me.
And you come up to me with that, boy, and I got you. Me and you're going to be real buzzy real quick.
She said buzzy.
Try it.
She said buzzy.
And I got you.
As in Ruth Buzzy. No one will get that joke except for me, but that's okay.
Well, thanks for sharing.
My elder fans will get that. Anyways.
I liked that this Akira moment came here because it just shows that like Akira was there, like focused on the competition, and then because they're asking direct questions about it, that's why she responded about her her nephew and their story. But I feel like you get the sense that she's very protective over this person and wants to take care of them and like do the best thing possible, which is why she wasn't like going around being like, I'm the best, I have a nephew that I take care of.
Yeah.
You know? And so I like that made it all the more moving for me, was like they had to drag this thing out of her basically. So I definitely teared up at that moment. I thought it was really sweet.
That made me like Akira even more. Yeah. And there was a few quotes, since we're overcompensating.
Yeah,
for quotes.
we're gonna throw them all out there.
There was one at the beginning when she was reading Silky, and she's like, "You just took off your wig and threw it. You know, broke the people's lights in the bag."
Wait, Akira said that?
Yeah. She totally did.
She's like, your shoe hanging off. It was hilarious. She had the best commentary. I was screaming so loud the whole episode just about Akira's comments. So they need to find a compilation of all of Akira's like
that
sayings.
would be a good.
And I'll put that together and we'll watch it for the reunion.
That
I'll be my
would
being
be
queen of all the
hysterical.
Akira. How do you say that? Akira-isms. There you go.
Her facial expressions are hilarious.
I know.
Because she's always the one that has that no.
Yeah. And then another one, Todrick. She's like, you see I'm messing up. You can't be calling me out in front of these people's cameras. I was like, yes, she's here.
You were saying, is that what you were talking about when RuPaul was like, no, Michelle, it's like this. And she took I was dying. I was literally dying.
You gotta get the
my
lights.
God. And she's like, now you hold it. We don't care about what she looks like. I was like, that was one of the best moments of the episode, in my opinion.
So we see more personality and we see more legs from Ru. So I'm like, good for
I
you.
really do feel like, and I do feel like this and the last All-Stars were RuPaul at her best.
Yeah.
I really, truly do. I love her getting involved more. I love her commentary. I just think that she is the real deal.
I mean,
It was fun.
3 spinoffs later, 5 Emmys. I'll be happy
Ooh,
too.
RuPaul's having a talk show now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this summer.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Take over.
Yay.
Can I comment? I did tweet a picture of it. The little, I don't know what the. I have a picture of it right here for you guys if you want to see it.
The little man bun.
Brooklyn's little.
Oh,
man
Brooklyn's
bun.
man bun.
Girl, what was that?
Sometimes you just gotta
I
do a
literally
little
had to
man
stop
bun.
and go, did I just see what I just saw? Yeah, check it out.
Is it a topper or is it her real hair?
No, that's her hair.
It's her hair. It's just a little tiny.
hairspray. And,
Yeah. Oh, I just
little
lost
itty bitty
my
ball.
place. Now I got to go back.
Well, Silky's hair too. You can't
With all the little.
with the balls.
That was funny.
It
That was
reminded
funny.
me of back in the 90s, everyone was doing that.
The Coolio look.
Yeah, yeah. It did remind me of that. So the main challenge I thought was super fun. I actually love the way that the camera moved into different parts of the club. So you had the line outside, you had the bathrooms, then you had the
you
club
noticed more than
floor.
I did, girl. I was just trying to focus on who got the routine. She's like, oh, the decor was nice.
The cinematography.
Yeah, there was a Starbucks cup in the scene.
They had to edit it out with the CGI. Oh man, but yeah, I was loving how they had the movable doors and everything, because that's a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Not just perform live, but to have the camera move through the different set pieces.
One of my tweets was about that when they say it's going to be one take. Did you catch Evie's face when she's when they're like, it's going to be one take? She's like her
Her
jaw
face
just
drops,
drops.
face
You're like,
drop.
oh shit. It was funny.
But we know it was.
And one of the other things I actually tweeted too, which their poll is actually still going if you want to vote. But I wrote, because we were talking earlier about all the love in the episode. I did a poll. Do you love the love or they can't fight enough?
And what they say?
Right now, Love the Love is winning 75%.
Thank you.
Of 20%. So if you want to go to my Twitter and vote on it, you can. Lorraine Love, LORAYNE LOVE, and follow me.
So what did you guys think of the song Queens Everywhere?
I mean, it was just that. I mean, it wasn't the real song. I mean, you know what I mean? It was just.
But it's
I like the
refrain.
beat.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the Since we can't play it, I'm just gonna knock it off.
You know what you guys should do?
Don't
Just
get it
play
shut
it
down,
over
Jayla.
us as we mime dance to it.
Yeah,
So
but you gotta get
Play
it
it in
on
your bedroom,
iTunes.
in your car while you're listening to us.
edit it over our video, basically. Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought actually I had the same reaction the audience did to Vanjie, where it's she had a really strong rap and it was well written, I thought, but then she wasn't lip syncing at all and was barely
Vanjie.
performing. Yeah.
Yeah, it really was Todrick said it. It was you saw her in rehearsal and she really did really well in the rehearsal, and even when she was taping her her audio, she seemed kind of into it and everything, and I love the joke about, well, if Nicki Minaj can do it or whatever, I can do it. I thought that was funny. I mean, yeah, it was, yeah.
I didn't really care for the song.
Oh,
It just wasn't memorable. I like seeing Akira, but I felt like some of the queens were kind of. I feel like Silky had it was super short. They didn't give her a whole lot of screen time. Maybe that was a choreography thing, because some of the I don't know. It was just and I really.
But they gave her an extra line at the end because
Silky?
yeah.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, hers is really short, but then
And
at
then
the
it went-
end, she comes back out and she's got the thing at the
that's
end.
True.
Yeah.
But still,
So,
it went straight
yeah.
to Vanjie, which I just wonder. It was one take, but I wonder if they. So you think they did 2 takes of it?
No.
yes.
They
You
could have
think?
been.
For the main scene
The
with the
the
when they
one
had- when they-
take.
with I'm sorry, the one scene where they're all were out there with the dancers, that was done in 2 or 3 takes.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure.
Okay.
'Cause
So
there's
just
no
the
way-
moving camera was
The
one
moving
take.
camera was probably 1 take. Yeah, you can
Okay.
see that. But I'm meaning for the big scene, you have to block that. People
That's
may not
true.
miss their marks. Somebody may have
There's
missed
bound to be
you know
some
what I'm
kind
saying?
of-
Yeah.
yeah.
So even when they did the individual shots at the end, they have to get that scene. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they've probably done it more than one time.
But I will say, girl, when Silky came out and was knocking
Busting people
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Oh god.
I
it was so
literally
funny.
was just yes! It was
Exactly.
so perfect for her.
It
I mean,
was
it
funny.
truly was perfect. I didn't care that her black bodysuit was showing underneath the new one.
I kind of did.
I mean, I get it. I get
kinda
it, but at the
did.
same time, I'm so willing to forget about it because I was so thoroughly entertained, especially after the lip sync that we saw a couple weeks ago. It was so funny.
I think the lip sync lit a fire in her ass, especially when she death dropped and her big ass came right back up. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say this, and I'm going to say it like maybe 10 seconds of our time. I stand by Silky and everything that she's put out in the world this season. For the people who don't want her to shine, like that's pretty much what it was. Oh, she's too loud. You want to silence people like that. I feel like we have done that long enough to silence people. And even if she's not the prettiest, whitest queen up there, like, you know, why silence her? Because didn't we have Alyssa Edwards going mama and doing all of these things that we liked? Did we like Laganja going mama and liking these things? And like, how come we are doing the same thing for Silky? Doing the opposite for
100%.
Silky. So Silky, you made your mark on Drag Race history.
Absolutely.
You got people to like you. You got people to love you. You got people to hate you.
Well,
and most queens don't even get remembered.
Well, and I have respect for her because I feel like, and we talk about this, the girls now come in and they're worried about social media. They're worried about what everyone's going to think about them.
Yeah.
And she clearly didn't. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but like she came in and she was just like 100% Silky. So kudos to her. And
like I said, I stand by her this entire season.
Yeah.
She had her ups and downs just like everybody else
did. Yep.
And she never lost sight of who she was. She didn't flip it for the camera. She didn't hold back. She didn't, you know what I'm saying? So that's what America's Next Drag Superstar means to me. And she's my queen.
yeah.
And if y'all read me about it, that's fine. That's my
okay.
friend. Like I said, I've known her for years, and I'm proud of, you know, the progress. She made it this far, and we'll see in the finale if she wins or not.
Can I ask a question and put everybody on the spot?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because they talked about most memorable their most memorable moments of the season. Do you guys have a most memorable moment of the season? Season 11? I know, I'm putting you on the spot.
In terms of what?
Just memorable. What's
You know what?
jumping out at you?
I think my favorite was the skits they did in the very beginning. The Why It Gotta Be Black Panther.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Those were good.
Yeah, I really love the skits, especially if they're done well. And I thought so many people did well in those that I was really amused by them, and they were very memorable to me. Even the like you earn everything.
Yes.
Opulence.
Okay, Mark.
I know I was asking the question, and in my head I was going, Mark, you don't even know what you're going to say. I think for me, I don't know. The opulence thing for me was I still stand by it. I think it was one of the funniest moments of the season. I think it'll go down. It's one of those like Miss Vanjie kind of moments. I actually also really liked the Preacher challenge. I mean, one of the teams. Nina's team. I thought that it was just a well done. I mean, they all really just put a lot of fun, and I'll give Nina a lot of credit for that because I know she knows what she's doing when it comes to putting a show together.
Yes.
So.
I have two. I like the potato sack Grace with the
Yes,
boobs.
that was funny.
That was funny.
And I had to talk about the most iconic lip sync between Brooklyn and
Oh,
Evie.
yes.
You know?
Yes.
That was T.
Ollie Drennan.
For me, it was more so just like seeing a contestant like Evie kind of being weird, and we kind of look at Drag Race in the beginning of it when it first came out of like it being all about beauty, but I think Evie kind of reinvented, and it just brings out the weirdo in yourself, because I feel like we're all weird and we're just ashamed to admit that we're weird, and we like weird, crazy things that people don't publicly talk about, and I think Evie brought that out in so much of the fandom, and I just really appreciate her artistry, and I'm Team Evie for sure going into the finale.
Now, I have to eat my words because day one when we first got here, I was not having it. Yeah. I did kind of read her a little bit because I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
The
saying? And I felt
race
like
car.
everybody is pulling the race car.
Yeah.
So I definitely ate my words this entire season, and I've been converted to Team Evie. Y'all converted me to Team Evie now. So and then I I'll tell you.
You
later.
gotta love her. You have to love her after the Untucked moment with her mom. And
Yeah.
her mom's message about her pretending to be Storm.
And I love when Ruth said it was this Halloween. She goes, "It could have been any day, girl. I was always wearing a costume." That was really funny too. I was gonna say, just off of what you were saying, Ollie, about the weirdness and the change, how drag has kind of changed since the beginning. I actually was having a conversation with Raven about this, and like when it started, you know, like Chanel was always, you know,
Yes.
and Chad Michaels was so painted and everyone looked so fishy and everything. And then, and if you remember, India Farah was kind of red because she was so harsh. But then Bianca Del Rio comes along, Trixie Mattel come along, and
What
now
about Sharon Needles? I mean,
Sha-
I
well,
still remember Sharon
yeah.
Needles in one of her first runways basically like threw up on herself
Yeah,
on the runway.
absolutely.
And I was like, whoa.
But I'm just saying, like, now it seems like, especially when you go to the drag shows, the new queens, they all want the big, thick eyebrows. They want the harsh lines and the things where when I was doing, like, I mean, you'll see, I mean, go to my page, you'll see, I don't, like, for me, and I've tried to do it, and I'm like, it just looks weird to me. And
Yeah.
kudos to you for doing it, but it just, like, it has evolved. And I think where you once thought and people that you may not think you're gonna like, you end up
Right.
liking because of different
But-
things. So
And also, that just kind of goes to show that I think that she is a true artist. That is Evie's,
Yeah.
that's her craft. That's not anyone she's looked at and said, "Oh, I want to like,
And
I want to,
yeah,
I want to
'cause
replicate that."
Well,
This
and
is
I-
me, Evie Oddly.
and I wish more I think that's my wish now, is that you just do you and stop trying to be like Bianca Del Rio. Stop trying to be Chad Michaels. Stop trying to be all these other people. Be you and be authentic you and learn who you are. And that's going to help you win the show.
Yeah.
N-
'Cause
Nothing,
that's what
I don't think
happened,
anything can help more than that.
After season 7, I went to the bar and I seen like 12 Miss Fames, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, how you doing? You know, but okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad I asked.
do you guys think they pick out for that last for the main challenge? Do you think they pick out their own outfits or they're picked out for them? Because they seem to kind of like correlate to one another, but
I know.
What do
I
you
didn't
mean?
notice that.
The runway?
no, not the runway. I'm talking
Queens
about the
Everywhere.
main
Oh.
challenge. The
Oh, the
song-
dancing challenge.
The dancing challenge. Because like it felt like the outfits like were
I'm sure they have
speaking
something.
to each other.
Yeah, I'm sure they
you
have.
know.
Or they might have a couple and they go, okay, you do that one, you do that one.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
I mean,
don't
they
know.
brought like 40 stuff, 40
Ask Silky.
outfits.
Can you find out from us?
She's in London. And
But
I don't want to I don't want to know too much about the show,
Right.
because I already know enough,
Right.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'd rather just watch
And
it like
sometimes-
everybody else.
And I always say this to people. I'm like, and sometimes most of what I know is not stuff I've asked. It just you're standing around people that are
Yeah.
talking because we're in that little community,
That group,
and they
yeah.
say something, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I don't even want to know, but I
So,
just kind of find out.
yeah.
But I was gonna say, referring to that about the costumes, I have to say, and I did. It was in my live tweeting. I don't know why Akira wore
the peaches and herbs,
and then she switched hair because she looked so much better in the dark hair at the very end than she did with the.
I
peaches
liked
and
the
herbs,
whole
the Rick James
Yeah.
disco ball.
I liked her hair longer better.
I liked it because it was like it all fit together. But then when she started to swing it, I was like, "What? Why?
Yeah.
Why are we swinging this?"
Yeah, I don't know. I like
Why?
I don't know. Tweet me if you liked her second
To
hair
read,
better.
yeah.
So let's get to the runway.
Okay.
Bring it to the runway.
Are you gonna talk about the bridesmaid dress first?
Ooh. And
And who has been Team RuPaul from the very beginning of her runway looks? When she came out, I was like, "What is with this bridesmaid's dress?"
pull the lever.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I said I was all behind her runways up until now, and then I was like,
Why you didn't like the purple?
The
it
lavender.
was just looked like it literally looked
Lavender.
like
Oh,
we don't have a
I
picture
don't
of
have
it.
it,
Way to
no.
go, Ollie.
Oh, well, I'm sure you really want it. You seem like you really like to talk about this dress. Of course I'm going to give you that picture, Mark.
It just looked like a really over the top bridesmaid's dress. It really did.
I liked how it flew. I just like
Okay.
the color.
It's just Tool. It's Tool.
Strictly my opinion.
She just rolled up in some
I just
tulle.
felt like I had to say it because I had been praising her looks the whole
All right.
season, so I felt like I had.
This was the one you didn't like.
Yeah, this is the one.
There's always one. It's okay.
There's always one. Yeah.
So first up is Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yes, in the Swan Lake outfit. Now, I didn't understand the criticism of her outfit because basically, all season long, they've been like obsessed with how she's a ballerina, and it's amazing she's a ballerina. So she comes out dressed like the lead in Swan Lake, and they're like,
Not that
why did you do that? I
Yeah.
was like, I'm confused.
Is this your best drag? Now, Brock, I know this is not your best drag.
Yeah. I mean, you're Miss
And
Continental.
I say that, right.
Come on. I agree. I do think she was in the bottom.
I think it also, we already saw her on her tippy toes.
Yep, I agree with
think
that
if she
too.
would have saved that for the final
Yep.
runway, we would have gagged.
Girl, you could
I
have wore the
also-
episode, the blue and yellow thing you wore in the first episode.
I also
Yeah.
think that it just this doesn't look like a starring. This looks like a backup dancer. This doesn't look like the leading lady in the whatever Swan Lake you
yep.
are.
It
Yeah.
does look like the leading lady. of
No,
Swan
it
Lake.
doesn't. It
Have you seen Swan Lake?
it
But
looks costumey.
I know what you're
Jackie.
saying. I know what you're saying.
It is.
But I know what you're
Very
saying.
costumey.
I mean, it is costumey, but I agree with you, Ollie. I think that it looked very ordinary.
In comparison to last season's
Yeah.
finale runways or
Yeah.
whatever going into the finale, these were very disappointing. It's not ugly, it's not bad.
No.
But I was disappointed with knowing that Brooklyn, and like you said, she's Miss Continental or was Miss Continental. I was expecting more of a look, more fashion,
Me too.
more fashion.
Me too.
Okay, well, Silky. I definitely thought this was Silky's best look. My only argument is when you do a nude look, you want it to look like you're not wearing anything underneath, and then when the nude look is part of the dress on the bottom, then it looks weird to me. So I almost wish that like the bottom was like a solid, like it was beating into a solid color, like what Akira did. So
Is it
that,
supposed to be nude or just sheer?
maybe, I don't know.
I
Because, like,
took
I
it as
just-
nude.
Yeah, I just wish the bottom was like a single color or a solid color, because it was kind of weird to me, because I'm like, if you're doing this thing where it looks like you're naked underneath, it's weird that it goes into like a nude dress at the bottom.
Now, if I see this wig one more time on somebody,
But
Wait,
she hadn't
is
really
this
worn this before.
Akira's? Is it
this
Akira's?
is Akira's wig has been traveling since season 10. But shout out to Ashley Iman, the creator of this wig.
Okay.
It's a beautiful
It's not the
wig.
same wig, but she always has the similar styles
Right.
because she makes it for Akira.
Oh, okay.
But shout out to Ashley Iman who makes this. But if I see this wig one more time, there was another meme. Now, the meme that I saw is not going to be Meme Queen, but it was a picture of the season 11 cast. And they put this wig on all of them.
I saw that.
I saw that. That was
So
funny.
the
yeah.
real winner is Akira's wig, and she posted it, so I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
I'm glad
I saw
she
that.
corseted. I thought, I think silhouette wise, I think it's the most beautiful she's looked.
I like
For
that.
sure. I don't know if it's my favorite dress.
It's a new color.
But
on her.
I think she looked
It looks-
amazing.
Well, the comments think otherwise. So
It
I'm
looks
not going to read it.
beautiful. My only thing is that it kind of looks similar to one of. Didn't she wear a dress like this before? I don't know.
I think that was Latrice.
No, she wore a dress. I think it was
All
blue.
fails, wear a gown.
No, I think she wore a dress like this, and so like earlier in the season.
She's worn a gown a couple times.
Eveline.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
it was something else. It was I don't know.
Oh,
It's beautiful.
the Zodiac, right?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I think she won it.
Oh
Whatever.
no, Zodiac. She had the one she made, like the pleather red one.
Oh, well, y'all will know. Let us know.
So the next one is Vanjie and her Scarlett O'Hara. I call it Scarlett
Scarlett-
O'Hara from the hood.
Yeah.
Why did she pick that color?
Because that's the color that Scarlett O'Hara wears in like
Why did
one.
no?
in-
why
in
is she
Gone with the
Why is she
Wind.
trying to do Scarlet though, Jackie?
I like Gone with the Wind, so I appreciated that.
I'm not here for Scarlet. I'm
that
not
dress.
here for Gone with the Wind. I'm not here for Swan Lake.
Orange Runway. She wore a gown.
Okay.
Silky. Sorry,
Okay,
someone just
y'all are
commented.
on it. Okay, for Vanjie, here we go again. Like I said, these are nice pieces, but it does not fit the Vanjie brand.
Yeah.
I went to the finale, Vanjie brand.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the hell was this last year?
Well, you can see it on Instagram too.
Vanjie brand.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can see all the
I
dresses on Instagram.
I couldn't stop looking at the bra that was coming up, and nobody just told her to pull it up before she got out there.
I feel
It
like
was-
she did that on purpose.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think she was trying to kind of make
She was
it.
trying to make it hood.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I
Then
do
that's
think
not
she
your
was.
But
best
she
drag.
should have done something hood. I would have loved to see that. Something that's Vanjie.
Or at least
something
wore a
that's
damn hood.
Vanjie.
Yeah.
She said, "So far, so good, so hood." In the
Yeah.
words of Vanjie, Where is it?
Someone said that Silky's wig should go, or Akira's wig should go to the Smithsonian.
Okay, pretty much.
Sisterhood of the Traveling
I just didn't.
Wig.
Only thing I didn't like was that it was so long that she had to carry it.
Yeah.
like
Like I
I
said,
was
it
like,
doesn't
come
fit.
on, like
It's not
you
the
really-
bench
So that's
size.
my guess is maybe it's not hers. Like she borrowed it for the runway, which is fine. I'm not
that
borrow
matches-
away. I say beg, plead, steal when you get on the show to get some nice stuff to take with you. I'm not faulting her for that, but I just wish it was a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
I thought she looked pretty. I didn't mind because at first I was like, oh, is that wrong? But then I was like, oh no, I think she meant to show it, especially because the bottom was removable, and then we saw that it was just kind of a corseted thing. I think that's kind of what it was designed for. So I thought she looked beautiful. I loved her hair. At least it was something a little different until she took it off.
So next we have Evie with the 3 boobs. I was loving it because I love boobs, and so when there's an extra one, I get real excited.
I tried to get Jayla to show hers today, but she would not.
Her third boob.
I know.
I wanted our ratings
I'm
to go
actually
through.
sitting on a secret.
Should I leave? Should I stay?
I thought she looked beautiful. I
Yeah.
think Rue nailed it too when she said, "You've never blended better. You've never looked better." I just can't get enough of Evie. Oddly, I want to be her when I grow up.
It was what they said, both weird and elegant at the
yeah.
same time.
I mean, that's the thing is like she was her brand, but she gave them
Finale.
Finale,
That's-
yeah.
Like she could have worn this at the finale. I'm
Right,
sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
But like that's the looks that I look for
Yeah.
personally that resonate with audiences, and I feel like compared to everyone else, Evie standing with everyone else's looks, like Evie won this episode for me and her performance. She might not win the competition, but she killed it this episode.
We'll find out.
So next is Akira. I actually really liked this dress because it reminds me of the Marilyn Monroe Happy Birthday Mr. President
yeah.
dress, where they had to sew her into it, and part of the scandal, aside from, like her trumpeting their affair, was that she looked nude underneath the dress because it was all beads.
Yeah.
And so in my heart, that was kind of like she's got like a Monroe wig, and then she's wearing this beaded dress where she looks naked underneath.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that.
I've been sewn into a dress before. It's not fun. Because if they accidentally like get you in the back, you're going to sew your spine up with the dress and then you'll just be there forever.
It was beautiful. I like the story that she made it with her lover or whatever. That was cool. I just thought that like for finale, no. She had so many amazing looks this season. The gold dress. Do we remember the gold dress?
I didn't remember that
should have
one.
been her finale look. But it's beautiful. Like I can't deny Akira's looks beautiful almost every single week.
What did she wear for the red carpet? Did you?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Did you remember? I don't.
Yeah, it didn't have the feather, the little feather
Oh, she
hat
wore the
and
green
yeah.
feather pieces
Yeah.
that
for
were,
the
okay.
finale.
Yeah, she wore a
I'm
green
I'm
dress.
trying to stay away from
I'm not
this, but-
sure.
No,
It's
this
on
is
Instagram.
the red
It's on the
carpet.
red carpet.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to stay away from it.
Oh, okay. I liked it.
They're not going to show it. so
You
we
know,
should-
and again,
no.
I think the other thing about this that I liked was the story. That she made it herself, that she hand sewed all that with her, I think she said her partner. It makes me like it more. Whether you like it or not, I like the story that goes with it. So,
and
she looks beautiful.
Southern black pageant queens,
Yeah.
they get down.
Yeah.
They're
They don't
in
mess
their,
around.
they don't pay their rent sometimes. The bills may be late, but those gowns
Yeah.
are beaded and sewn,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying. So I appreciate the work, and I believe she made it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gorgeous. So then we had the lip sync that we've all been telling you that we are going to have all season.
Yeah.
I told y'all, right? I kept saying this is going to happen. This is going to happen, y'all. If y'all don't know reality TV by now.
Yeah, it was Brooklyn and Vanjie, which we expected. Brooklyn won, which even though I felt that lip sync was pretty even, I felt they give Brooklyn the win because like Vanjie hadn't won anything all season.
Yeah,
You know?
track record.
Yeah. So, and I don't know. Mark, you said you don't know why Brooklyn was in the bottom. Or you agree that Brooklyn was in the bottom. I didn't see it. Like I thought she was like just as entertaining as everybody else in the challenge.
I mean,
Who should have been in the
Here's-
bottom then?
I say, here's my thing is I don't think that she was bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you line them up and you just watch them back to back to back, each person's part of that dance, it's just not, hers is just, she does it well. No one's saying she can't dance. She's obviously a dancer. She does it well. Even Todrick was like, you need to stank it up. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like with Chad Michaels, and I've been saying this the whole time. I keep comparing her to Chad Michaels. It's like, she's not bad. It's just, is it unique? Is it original? Is it something I want to spend $10 and get into a club and pay to see? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, real quick, when Jay was here last week, he said something that she doesn't have an edge, and they literally said that this episode, Michelle, I think, said it, that Brooklyn's missing some kind of small edge, and I was
That's because Jay's so smart.
Exactly. He has such
and he's a competent host.
He's more a competent host than me and Jayla. No, but I think that's what he said it best, and Michelle said it this episode. So that's what.
Before the finale, or before we pick a winner or reunion or whatever, I challenge everybody to go back and watch episodes from the beginning and have a shot game for every time they've said at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong by episode 2. So I kept hearing that this episode, at the end of the day, I'm like, where is this day going to be over? We've been here all day.
I actually did save all the episodes of the season, and I started kind of trying to go back. I fell asleep halfway through episode 1.
We're running out of time, so we can't do the mirror moment this week, but I do want to say that I enjoyed that it was a love fest. I do love when everybody makes up and they're loving on each other. That's one of my favorite things. So that was one of my favorite things this episode.
It's a Vogue break.
This is jumping, or thump and jump.
That's
You
right.
earn everything. I'm going to give some quick fans of the week. Matt Alspa. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but they commented on iTunes that they love us. Someone, Margo108, said they're pretty sure that Mark and they share a brain. I don't know exactly what is in your brain then.
I feel bad for her.
But that's awesome. And then someone whose name is Shay Was Robbed, which I love the name,
iTunes,
said we're fun. So
Oh, thanks
you guys.
I guess I picked a
always
good week
for the
to
comments.
not have a quote of the week since we saved time. I did that on purpose. Jayla.
Yes, there you go. All right, well, I'll make this one really fast. Thank you guys so much for sending me queens or being queen. So this one is a listen one. So for all my audio listeners, I know it's hard to explain how to make memes funny. So this one is called The Curse of Scarlet Envy. Take a listen.
She'd go home tonight. And why? Raja.
If it were my choice, I would send Scarlett.
Raja O'Hare. This is just the beginning.
Oh my God.
Keep on strutting, girl. Now, sashay away. Plastique tiara.
Just based on the critiques, my sister, Scarlett Envy.
Plastique tiara. Sashay
Oh my
away.
gosh.
Nina West.
I would also say Scarlett.
Nina West.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Don't
funny.
mess with
great.
Scarlet
Don't
Envy.
mess with Scarlet Envy.
Yes.
That's so funny.
So who's our local queen, Ollie?
I just want to shout out real quick Auntie Chan. She's so freaking funny. She does awesome shows in Chicago, and she also she did Kirby recently from she did a little Super Smash Brothers
cute.
for all the nerds out there. She's a co-host for a YouTube show, in my honest opinion, with Dixie. It's so funny. Go check her out. Show her some love. She's amazing. Love you, Auntie Chan.
Yay.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week for the reunion show.
Reunion.
Yes.
Then there's a week off, and then we're back.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, Jackie B. Where can the people find you guys?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNE LOVE.
And you can watch me flexing for the gram. Follow me at Who Is Jayla Roxx. That's 2 X's 3 if you nasty.
And follow me and my pink hair at Ollie Dreamer on Instagram and Twitter.
Yes.
Thanks, you guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.